What's up, people? It's your boy Profection back again with another video. Still on the grind, still going. I'm back on here basically because I saw a comment on a Nofap video where someone was saying, what happened to the first generation of these Nofappers? And I'm assuming that it was like a year or 2 years before me. But he was saying, what happened to these guys? They're no longer posting videos. So the only thing I can assume is that they've just accepted that porn is just a natural way of life, and they've said to themselves, right. Well, they haven't said anything. That's the whole point. They haven't said anything, and people are starting to assume now. But a lot of these guys, like one of the person that was posted that comment may have been a fan. So he's, one part of his inspiration, one part of his motivational team is gone, or maybe all of his team is gone. And now he feels like he's kind of doing it by himself again. Now he's with the short-term Nofappers, and the people that were on the 1 year to 2 years, people that posted videos about 3 to 4 years ago, they're all back on it, and that's kind of decreased his kind of willpower. It's gone down because these people are no longer there. So he's thinking, in the long term, you'll always go back to it. And that's when I said, right, maybe it's time to come back and try to motivate some of the subscribers that you have that might have joined you strictly based upon the Nofap videos, because it's definitely, I've realized with the Nofaps that it's definitely something that draws a crowd. You can do a video on whatever, something you're really interested in. It could be on computer games, it can be on a book or whatever, and you'll have maybe 4 people viewing your profile or viewing the video, whereas Nofap seems to be something really big, and that also causes people to kind of blog Nofap again. And I'm not here to kind of put people down or anything like that. So what it means is that because there's certain people out there that love that attention, what they're doing is they're blogging Nofap, and they're saying like, Nofap day 1, I'm gonna go out there and fix my car. Nofap day 2, I went to the hairdressers. Nofap day 3, I was on the basketball court. And they're kind of using Nofap to kind of gain that notoriety, or to gain subscribers or viewers, which is fine. I think there's nothing wrong with a blog. I think the best way to get close to someone is when they're blogging, because obviously you're seeing them every single day, so you're going to see the good sides to them, you're going to see the bad side. So I think if some of my videos have stopped the bloggers, they've seen it and thought to themselves, oh, this guy, they've taken some things I've said where I've said don't post it every single day, and I've caused them to stop doing it. What I want to say is no, continue, because regardless of the few of the haters you get on your page, the best way for your fans or your subscribers to get close to you is to see you every day. And guess what, you're not going to be perfect. That's why I'm big on my videos not being edited at this point, just me just running through. So if you see me behaving in an odd way, well, guess what, that's how I behave offline, in an odd way. Maybe in the future I will start editing it, but when I do, you'll realize that it will come across a lot more professional, almost like a job, as opposed to you sitting down as a friend, chilling with me, and seeing the same person I am on screen, off screen. You'll just see pure kind of, you won't see any errors. You won't see me kind of repeat the same words, no ums and all that, slurs and all that kind of stuff. I'll just take it all out. It'll be more professional, as opposed to you getting close to me, and that's how I kind of look at blogs. Right, so let's get back to before we start. Right, so let's get back to the Nofap. So when I saw that, I said to myself, let me come back on here and let me try to motivate some of the subscribers that I have. And the first thing that popped into my mind was cigarettes, because I've been stressed out. Had a really bad event that happened about 3 weeks ago, and even before that, because don't think that when you get past a year or 2 years that those porn urges suddenly vanish altogether. They never completely vanish. you could be triggered by anything. I remember going to carnival. There was a carnival, Notting Hill Carnival in the UK, and I remember one woman wearing these really, really tight shorts. I think they were even cut. The shorts were even cut. And I remember at the time when she's walking along the street, I couldn't stop staring. This had nothing to do with Nofap back then. I wasn't on the Nofap, but I couldn't stop staring. The shorts were too small, and her bottom was literally hanging out, and it just reminded me of porn. I couldn't. And you will get triggered every now and then by things that you see. Even when you get past a year, you're still going to get triggered. You might be stressed out, and that will automatically trigger things. So even past a year, whatever, those things are still going to be there. But getting back to it, yeah, I've been stressed out over the last 3 weeks. So those thoughts were coming back. Oh, just watch your porn video to release it. Just go out there and buy a bottle of spirits, and just drown your sorrows in the spirits. Just buy yourself some, B class, C class drugs. That will help. That will help release the tension. So it kind of reminded me of when I was trying to stop smoking. And this is only like recent. It's only like 3 years ago when I came off of it, or 4 years ago. And I remember that the longest I'd gone without smoking in about 10 years or something, it was like 6 months, and I was free from it. And then one like summertime came, and the urges came back, and I struggled to socialize. So I ran out there basically, and I got a packet of tobacco. I don't know why I done it. I do not know why. I think the urges were just too strong. So I went out there and got a packet of tobacco. So basically, as I'm smoking the tobacco, I'm no longer interested in the taste of it, in the feel of it. But because I'm stressed out, I'm doing it anyway, and I'm having it with a drink, which makes it easier. And then the second day I wake up, and for some reason I feel to myself, right, I need to just finish this pack of tobacco, and then get back on this kind of, I had that stressful moment or stressful few days. I've used the tobacco. Now I just want to quickly get over it and get back onto this whole thing again. So in Nofap terms, it's almost like me relapsing. Yeah, exactly the same thing. I've gone 6 months and I've relapsed. Yeah, I might be sitting down at the computer and I might say to myself, right, since I've relapsed, I might as well just enjoy 1 or 2 days of just watching pure porn now, and then get back on it. But here's the problem, is that what happened was, with the tobacco, I ended up quickly smoking a whole pouch of tobacco in 2 days. The reason why I did it is I just wanted to get it over and done with, and then quickly get back onto, me coming off of smoking. So I binged on the tobacco. Equivalent to porn is, I binged on the porn. Now what's happened is, after I finished the tobacco, I then felt this urge to go and buy another packet. So rather than even though I said to myself, I'm going to stop now, I've done this, it's only for that brief moment, I felt the strong urge to go and buy another packet. So I try to fight the urge for a day, and then I go out there and end up buying another packet, and then I'm on the same cycle again. Now I smoke a few 4 roll-ups, I'm enjoying it, and then I say, right, I just want to get this packet out of the way now, and get back on the whole not smoking thing. And then, to cut a long story short, how it relates to people now is I started beating myself up. I started saying to myself, you know what, 6 months gone down the drain, and now I'm back to square one again. I'm totally back to square one where I first started. So again, if we compare that to porn, that's almost like me going without porn for 6 months. I then relapse. I have a session for 1 or 2 days, and then I say, right, so rather than just watch it once, I have a full session for 1 or 2 days, and then 2 days later, and then a day after, I say to myself, right, I'm going to recover now and get back to it. But then 2 days later, I'm back on it again, and I'm binging again. and that's what it's like, basically. That's what it felt like to me, and it felt like I'd gone further into it than I was originally. So whatever method I was trying to use, obviously, for the moment, just to get past that stressful event, backfired on me, and ended up doing it more than what I was doing when I was watching porn, going back like a year ago, 2 years ago. Okay. Here's another example of what I'm trying to say. I was watching this program on this new drug. I can't remember what the drug was, but in America, basically, there's all these kind of new drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, and there was one that was really strong. And what was happening was they were saying that there was a lot of people on the streets that were taking this drug, and then they suddenly came off of the drug with help. Someone's removed them from that environment. They've came off of it. When they've gone back, for whatever reason, they've found themselves back in that same hole. What's happened is they've gone back now, and they've ended up ODing. So they've ended up doing more than what they were previously doing. And their body, because it was clean of this substance, couldn't handle it. So a lot of them ended up ODing. Okay, so now we understand what I'm trying to say is that I was really beating myself up at the time when I was going through the smoking thing. I was like, oh my gosh, I did 6 whole months and now I'm back to it again. I started beating myself up and I started to really, really be frustrated with myself. But then I sat down and I said to myself, wait a minute here. What you don't seem to realize is, in the beginning, you had like 5% willpower. You probably couldn't even make it past 3 days. Now, by slowly building that up, you managed to make it to 6 months. So as you're sitting down here beating yourself up, what you don't really understand is that your willpower isn't no longer on 5%. Now your willpower is like 60 to 70%. So even if you screw up for the first 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you will never go back down to 5% again. Your willpower will always be at 60%. So don't beat yourself up. And when I started to realize that wait a minute here, my willpower has grown. I am a lot stronger. Even though I'm going through this little depression phase or down phase and I'm doing some, I'm binging on it, my willpower is never what it was when I first started. I was regularly messing up when I first started. Flip that on its head, that was actually a good thing because I was slowly building the willpower. Now it's not a struggle for me to do 2 days or 3 days. Now it's not a struggle for me to do a week. So I said to myself, my willpower is strong, it's got stronger. So I tell you what, you're going to spend another extra, say 2 weeks smoking whatever you're smoking, tobacco, and after the 2 weeks you're going to casually, because remember I've always said to people, don't rush into these things, take your time with it. You're going to casually do what you've done before, and guess what, that's exactly what I did. When those 2 weeks came, I felt confident because I said to myself, yeah, I do have the remedy. I do have the blueprints on how to stop this thing because I've done it many times before. It's not the first time I failed 30 times, so I know what I'm doing. And I used that true information. It wasn't a placebo, because some people, what they do is if there's someone on YouTube, they're basically lying to yourself isn't a bad thing. If I go onto YouTube and I see someone on YouTube creating a video and he's got thousands of hits and he said he's made it to 5 years, and the reality is he hasn't even made it to a year, but he's still putting videos out there because he needs those views, like I was describing before. Maybe he's even generating revenue from it. I don't know, I'm none the wiser. I don't know whether he's lying or not. So I can use the power from him and say, wait a minute, he's made it to 5 years, so surely I can make it to a month or so. You can use that to push you forward. But I'm going to get into, so this is just a motivational video, and it's just letting people know that your failures sometimes, or I class it as coming closer to succeeding, because it's never a failure. You came closer to succeeding, which starts to make sense now why I use that term. 2 terms. You never failed, you came closer to succeeding. And you may think that you've lost a friend, but you've actually defeated an enemy. Anyway guys, I'm going to see you in the next video, because this will be my last video on nofap and porn addiction. Okay, it's just to give you a little bit of help, but I'm still on that journey, going strong. Anyway, I'll see you in part 2. Peace.